Hey there, Chuffed Crew. I am here in Golfito still, and I'm just doing a little special episode to talk about bringing a boat in and out of Costa Rica and what it means to go into bond, because you've all heard me talk about it a bunch, but it's kind of a complicated process and I don't think many people really actually know what it is. So, basically, when you bring a boat into Costa Rica, you're permitted 90 days for both you and the boat in Costa Rica. That's to navigate the waters. You're free to anchor in any free anchorages and basically go where you like with the zape they give you to be able to travel around in their waters. That process of checking into the country usually takes 1 to 2 days depending on what day you arrive in the port, and involves going to immigration for yourself and your crew to be stamped in, and then you head over to customs and basically have to fill out some forms and say, declare some things that might be on the boat or not on the boat, and then you go and see the port captain. Now, the reason it can take a little longer is because some offices are closed on certain days, they break for lunch, they close early, etc., etc. The printer's not working, and for us it actually took 3 days to get in, but and at the time it only cost us $25, so it's quite cheap getting into Costa Rica at the moment. Now, once you've used up your 3 months though, you then either have to leave the country with the boat, and the boat has to leave for at least 90 days before it's allowed back in, or you can put the boat into bond. There are a few other options, but I'm going to focus on bond right now. So, when you put the boat into bond, it essentially means you have to go into a marina that has permission to put boats into bond, and use a bonding agent to apply with the customs and basically with customs to keep the boat here for longer. Once you then spend 90 days in bond, at which point you are not allowed to leave the marina. You basically are in the marina, the boat's locked up, that's it. Once you've completed the 90 days, you're then allowed back out again, and you're permitted another 90 days of cruising. So one option would be 90 days cruising, 90 days bond, 90 days cruising, 90 days bond. The reason I have been in bond a lot longer than 90 days is because the boat was put into bond on its Panamanian registration, which expired around 2.5 months after it got into bond. I wanted to switch the registration to Australia because I'm more protected by the Australian registration than I am the Panamanian one. It meant that my name could be on the registration because it wasn't previously, and the Australian registration is a once-off fee, and then you have lifetime registration, whereas in Panama you pay every year. You need a lawyer every year because they won't let you do it as a expat or gringo. It's a very confusing process. Getting the certificate I needed to say I no longer had Panamanian registration took 5 months. And then once I got that, I was finally able to make my Australian application, and then that took time to come. It was a long, drawn-out process, basically. So I haven't been able to leave bond until I got that registration, which I now have. So I should be out of bond soon, so stay tuned for that. So that's why I've been in bond for much longer than 90 days. Now, there are a few other options having a boat in Costa Rica. One, if you want to be here forever, is that you import the boat. The main thing to know with that is that it includes some very heavy importation fees where you're paying a percentage of the deemed value of your boat. So that can be really expensive. Another option that some marinas offer is a 1 or 2 year kind of an importation, I guess, but not quite, where you can pay for either a 1 or 2 year period where you have to rent a marina slip for that entire time, but you can come and go from the marina as you please. Ultimately, that wasn't offered anywhere in Golfito when we arrived, otherwise maybe that's something we would have looked into. But in saying that, it probably would have made our registration more complicated, and it is more costly in the long run because you're paying for the marina fees plus the fees on top of that for this importation thing. Whereas with bonding, you're really just paying the 3 months of marina fees each time, and then you're out for 3 months and you pay the 3 months. So it works out cheaper, I think, to basically put the boat in and out of bond, but it means you're stuck for 3 months at a time. So yeah, that essentially explains Costa Rican boating and bondage. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update about how that works and explain why I'm still here. But as I said, this is essentially a live video, so you're getting it pretty much as it's recorded. So hopefully mid-November the boat will be out and you'll start seeing some more sailing videos. So stay tuned for that, and until then, stay chuffed everybody.